This is the story of Avatar, the way of water's fire and ash. Okay, so this Avatar movie story takes place around 300 years before the events of the first Avatar film. It's going to star two characters who we haven't seen yet, a female Na'vi named Fira and a human male named Ash. Fira is described as being a headstrong young warrior who has been trained her entire life for one purpose, taking down the invading humans on Pandora. She also has a deep connection to Awa, the spiritual consciousness of Pandora, and she uses that power in ways that have never been seen before. Ash is described as being a charismatic rogue who finds himself on the run from both the military and the Na'vi. He has a knack for getting into trouble, but he's also got a good heart and a strong sense of justice. Now, despite their different backgrounds, Faye and Ash are thrown together when they find themselves on the run from a powerful enemy. And as they journey through Pandora's lush landscapes, they learn to work together and uncover secrets about the planet and its history. Now, along the way, they're joined by a group of other characters, including a wise old Na'vi named Moat, who teaches them about the importance of balance and harmony with nature. They also meet a band of rebel humans led by a mysterious woman named General Ardmore, who's fighting against the oppressive regime that's trying to exploit Pandora's resources. So as the story progresses, the group faces many challenges and battles against the forces of evil, all while trying to stay one step ahead of the relentless pursuit of a cunning human colonel named Miles Quaritch. Now, sparks fly between Vera and Ash, but their romance is forbidden because of their different species. Plus, Vera's also betrothed to a strong and brave Na'vi warrior named Suti, which complicates things even further. But love knows no boundaries, right? So these two will have to decide if their feelings for each other are strong enough to overcome the odds. As they get closer to each other, though, Ash begins to question his own species and the values that he was raised with. He starts to see the beauty and wisdom of Pandora as native cultures, and realizes that there is more to life than just fighting and conquest. Now, meanwhile, Vera also struggles with her own beliefs and loyalties. She is torn between her duty to protect her people and her growing feelings for Ash. She has to choose between following tradition and embracing change. One of the major conflicts in this Avatar movie story is between the Na'vi and the humans. Now, the Na'vi are an advanced alien race that has lived in harmony with nature for centuries. They are deeply connected to the land and all living things, and they have a profound respect for the balance in nature. Humans, on the other hand, are portrayed as being destructive and exploitative. They have come to Pandora in search of natural resources, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to get them. This conflict is not just physical, though. It's also spiritual. The Na'vi believe that humans have lost their connection to nature, and that this has made them unbalanced and dangerous. They see humans as a threat to the very way of life, and they are determined to stop them at all costs. Another major conflict in this Avatar movie story is between tradition and change. Now, the Na'vi have a strong connection to their past and their traditions. They have a deep respect for their ancestors and the wisdom that they have passed down to them. They are also very wary of new ideas and ways of doing things. On the other hand, Ash represents change. He is a foreigner who has come from a different world with different customs and beliefs. He challenges the Na'vi to look at the world in a new way and to consider different perspectives. This conflict is really important to the story because it explores the idea of cultural clash. It also raises questions about the role of tradition in modern times. A third major conflict in this Avatar movie story is between good and evil. Now, the forces of evil are represented by the oppressive regime. That is trying to exploit Pandora as resources, and by the ruthless Colonel Miles Quaritch, who will stop at nothing to hunt down the rebels. On the other hand, the good guys are represented by the group of characters who are fighting for freedom and justice. This conflict is really exciting because it leads to some epic battles and also some really intense action sequences. But it also raises questions about the nature of power and the corrupting influence of greed and control. The resolution of these conflicts is really interesting. Let me tell you why. In a surprising twist, Vera and Ash decide to join forces with the rebel humans led by General Ardmore. They realize that the only way to defeat the oppressive regime is to unite the different factions of Pandora, including the Na'vi, the humans who are sympathetic to their cause, and even some of the humans who are initially portrayed as being the enemy. Now, this alliance is not without its challenges, though. There is still a lot of mistrust and animosity between the different groups, and it takes time for them to learn to work together. However, as they fight side by side against the forces of evil, they begin to see each other's strengths, and they start to forge new alliances. In the end, the combined forces of Pandora's inhabitants rise up against the oppressive regime, and they win a hard-fought victory. Now, this victory is not just military, it's also spiritual. The Na'vi and the humans learn to respect each other as cultures, and they begin to see the wisdom in each other as ways of life. They also learn the importance of balance and harmony with nature. In terms of the romantic subplot, Ash and Vera's relationship reaches a fever pitch as they fight side by side. They have to make a choice, though. Are they going to follow their hearts, or are they going to listen to the expectations of their people? In the end, they decide to follow their love for each other, and they choose each other over their respective cultures. This is a bold move, but it also shows the power of love to overcome all obstacles. But here's where things get really interesting. Despite their victory, the future of Pandora is still uncertain. The oppressive regime may be defeated, but there are still threats on the horizon. The Na'vi and the humans have to continue to work together to protect their home. They also have to deal with the aftermath of the conflict and try to rebuild their lives. The ending of the movie is hopeful, but it also leaves the audience with a sense of wonder about what the future may hold. It's a fitting conclusion to the Avatar, the Way of Water story, and it sets the stage for future adventures in the Avatar universe. What do you think of this Avatar movie story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe for more Avatar content.